Hello, fellow Scratchers! And boom! What is Geometry Dash without an epic end-of-game explosion? I'm Griffpatch, and in this fourth episode of our series, we'll be recreating this effect just as you see it here. And guys, it looks awesome, doesn't it? Sit tight and I'll show you exactly how it's made. Now, these videos do take me a lot of time to put together, so I'm trying something a little different. In an effort to get new videos out weekly, I'm going to try to keep my episodes short and on topic. If you like this idea, then please take a moment to drop me a like, and I'll also watch out for your comments under the video. So, without further ado, we'll get right to it. Open your projects from episode 3, and as always, we're going to save them as a fresh due copy, for this is episode 4. Guys, let's get scratching! And I can hardly believe this, but the first thing to note about modern Geometry Dash is that when the player dies, the level instantly grinds to a halt. What? And to think that we spent all that effort to bring it to a nice gradual stop. Oh well, it was a fun lesson learnt, but let's take it out. In the player sprite. Now scroll down to the When I Receive Game Over script. Then right before the repeat loop, simply set scroll speed to 0. Yes, a complete stop. And then pull out that change scroll speed from the loop so that it no longer applies. Now, is that all we need to change? Let's take a look. So dying to spikes. That looked a little odd. The player appears to jump to the right. And I did expect that because scrolling up to the Game On scripts, we have this little change X block here for when we touch a spike. Now this needs to go, so carefully remove it, but keep those other two broadcast and stop blocks below. Here we go. Smash that green flag, and now we have a much tidier instant stop. And testing on a wall collision, here it comes. Yep, that too is working fine. Splendid! Then we can move on to creating the first part of the explosion effect, the expanding circle. We'll begin by creating a new sprite, naming it Explode. The colour of this circle is going to be the same cyan blue we used in the particle sprite, and we get the colour using the selection tool and simply selecting the particle shape. There we go. Now, moving back into our new sprite, the fill colour is retained, so we'll draw a circle. Don't forget to hold down the Shift key to keep it perfectly circular. And we're aiming for a size of 100 by 100 pixels. A little adjusting, and there we go. Lastly, snap the shape to the centre of the canvas, and we are good to get coding. When green flag clicked, we'll do some setup. Initially, we'll hide the explosion. Gone. The next time it shows is when we receive the game over message. So bring that in, and immediately show the sprite again. Now obviously this should be positioned over the player. Go to Player. Nice, but a bit too large for starters, so set size to 20%. That's the setup. Now for the animation. Repeat and 10 times. And we're going to change size by, to make it grow, and leaving it at 10 for now. Then we'll click the Game Over script to test it. Okay, nice, I'm liking this, but let's make it grow for longer. Up the repeat to 15 frames. Cool, but as the circle expands, we want it to fade away too. We do that with a change ghost effect, and for full fade out, that's 100%. Over 15 frames, that should be 100 divided by 15, roughly 7 each time. Smash that Game Over script, and that looked good. Let's see it again. Oh, purple scratch cats. Did we break it? No, we just forgot to reset the ghost effect to make it visible again the second time around. Drop in a simple, clear graphic effects. And yes, we are back in business. Now, this sure is cool, but I have one more enhancement to make. The circle currently expands at a constant linear rate, but it would look even better if instead its expansion slowed down over time. This is called easing out. So rather than changing size by 10% each frame, we calculate the easing figure using a subtract block starting with 170%. That's the maximum size we are aiming to expand our circle to. From this, we subtract the current size of the explosion sprite. That gives us the amount left we need to increase by. That's nothing if we've already reached our target size. And now we divide. Dividing the amount left to increase by 9. Now, the larger this number is, the longer it will take for the shape to reach its final size. Right, exciting! Hit that game over script. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The new easing out gives it that professional touch, right? Now just before we move on, I think it best to drop in a hide block at the end. I just feel better knowing that the sprite is not hanging around on screen, even if it is ghosted to nothing. Great! Time to see this fully in-game. Smash that green flag! Perfect, that's just as I hoped. It's looking better and better. Except my OCD simply cannot take this anymore. Does anyone else notice that oh so tiny but highly annoying step down in the level as the player moves from level costume number 1 to costume 2? Ah, man, I hate it. And it does seem strange because the ground is an exact duplicate between costumes 1 and 2. They should line up perfectly. Well, not to worry. If you want to fix it, we can just drop in another rectangle at the top of our levels, again out of sight. And that alone is enough to fix my first screen. Crazy. And you may need to add them to more than one, just see how you go. Phew, now I can move on. The next stage of our explosion is to add in those particles, the particle burst. Now this is what really brings the whole animation together. The particles begin at the centre of the player, and then spread outwards in a circle. Now, we already added the particle sprite, and that was used to create the trail behind the player. However, we won't try to reuse it. Instead, right-click or long press on mobile, and duplicate the particle sprite. This time we'll name it Explode Particles, or perhaps Particle Burst if you prefer. OK, the costume can stay exactly the same. Click into the Coding tab. So unlike the particle trail, a particle burst must generate many clones all at once. The trigger is, once again, from a game over event. When I receive game over. We want to create, say, 40 clones, therefore repeat for 40, and create clone of myself. The problem is, this repeat loop doesn't run instantly, but will stagger the animation over 40 game frames. To make it instant, we need to make a new custom block. Boom! And tick the Run Without Screen Refresh checkbox. This will do the trick. Now all 40 clones will be created without waiting around. Excellent. Just drop the boom block under the Game Over receiver. OK, next up, we want to code the particle's motion. When I start as a clone. Now, although the original particle scripts follow a similar pattern, we'd be better to move them off and cherry-pick the blocks we need. The go-to-player, that stays the same, but we don't want to offset the position with the change X or Y blocks. Set size, yep, we need that, but up the picked sizes between 75 and 150 this time. Ah, speed X and speed Y. So, okay, I'm going to switch to use a direction and speed this time around. So drop in a point in direction block, and we'll pick a direction between negative 180 and 180. That's a full circle around the player and will help to form a circle of projectiles. And now to set the speed. So this should just read set speed, not set speed X. We can rename the variable speed X to simply speed. And then the speed Y, that can be deleted. Great. Bring that particle sprite to the front, go to front, and reattach the remaining scripts, the show, repeat, and delete blocks. But we're going to pull out the movement scripts from the repeat. These still assume a change X and Y approach to the movement. Instead, our costume is already facing in the direction they want to move, so all we need to do is move forwards by this particle's speed. And then, we're going to fade them out using the change ghost block. Just a few more changes. We'll up the repeat to 20 so that the particle burst lasts for a longer time, and reduce the ghost effect down to 4. Wow, that was a lot of fiddling around. I hope we will be suitably rewarded when we run these scripts. To do so, we're going to click on the When I Receive Game Over hat block just here. And that is quite a cute little explosion, but I can see a few issues. Firstly, it's not half as big as I wanted. And secondly, the particle cubes are all rotated in the direction of travel. We don't want this. They should stay upright at all times. And we can quickly fix that by clicking into the direction input and hitting the Don't Rotate option. That's the third one across. Good, that solves that one. Now for the power, the speed. We need to up the particle's initial speed. Let's try from 3 all the way up to 12. They should be quite fast. Click! Oh yes, now that's more like it. This particle burst is looking so much better for those small tweaks. I've got to see this in game. Smash that green bunting! Oh, marvellous. It looks even better combined with the central circle too. This is partly because of how the particles outpace the circle as the circle slows down with that easing we added. Now you might think we are done there, and it's very close, but I just have a couple of finishing touches to make. Firstly, I'd like some particles to disappear faster than others, so before the repeat loop, change ghost by a pick random between 0 and 30. That gives some particles a head start in fading away. And then also, we can make the particles shrink in size as they fade. Change size by -3. And now let's see this in action. Yeah, it's coming along. But the biggie is this. In real Geometry Dash, when particles overlap, they change their colour to become more white. I love that. And it's not so easy to replicate in Scratch faithfully. But we can emulate it just a tad by setting the brightness effect before the repeat loop to 100. That's as bright as we can make it. So now our particles appear white instead of blue. And then we quickly fade back to blue using a change brightness effect by -20. Drop that into our repeat loop. Except there is a problem with that. The brightness quickly goes too far the other way and makes our particles black. Oh, great. No problem though, we'll handle the brightness in our own script. When I start as clone, again, repeat, but only this time for 5 frames. And in there, we change the brightness by -20 and run the project. Great, that fixed it getting too dark, but the white effect is so quick I can hardly see it. How about we hold it at white for a few extra frames? We can do that with a wait before the repeat for 3 frames. That's calculated as 3/30ths of a second. That's 0.1 seconds. And that's it. Our particle explosion is complete, and I'm really very happy with that. All we need to do is fade out the player for the final effect. So in the player sprite, scroll down to the Game Over script, and no surprises here, change Ghost Effect by... And we want this to be very quick, so enter a value of 20. Here goes nothing. And wow, all our hard work has paid off. I don't think it could get a lot better looking than this. What do you think? Did we miss anything? Let me know in the comments. Let's try a wall collision. Oh boy, that's really good. And it sets us up nicely for the next episode where we're going to ditch having to click that green flag to start the game. So noob. Finally, having the option to restart the level in-game. I'm looking forward to that. And hey, if you have a request for what we cover next, then drop it in the comments under the video. Do remember to submit your projects to the official Scratch Studio. You'll find that linked under the video too. And oh, while you're still here, please smash the like button. And so as not to miss my next exciting video, ensure you are subscribed to my channel and that the bell icon is checked. But alas, that's all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed the shorter format. Do let me know. But until next time, have a great week ahead and scratch on, guys.